kids and marriage. The kids are not being over dramatic at all. Okay, this is gonna be day 6. Day 6, guy. I have one more day to go. This is Nancy Mitchell with Love Guru, your guide to better relationships. Guys, let's dive right into it. Okay, kids and marriage is going to be crazy again with your marriage that you have with your spouse, with your boo. A lot of the times when you get married, you're super, 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 super nice. And as soon as kids come into play, you're like, oh my God, I have to do this, I have to do that. And, you know, parents start clashing in their marriages. And then what happened? You know, the kids suffer. The kids are the one that suffer the most. So you have to be super, super careful of start concentrating on the psychological thinking of how your kids think and what do they need, okay? You may think that they need what you're feeding them, but it's not what they need. So let's get right into it. Tongue tying. Number 1. Okay, they're not being over dramatic at all. Their brain filter differently. So the kids have big emotions with no filter, right? With kids, they have their prefrontal cortex it's not developed 100%. And this is why I always say from the entire series that kids process things totally different from an adult. You cannot expect your 5-year-old to process how you're processing it. You cannot expect your 10-year-old to process it just as you. Okay, when a kid or children reach up to the age of, I would say about 18, 21, now they start being into their own little self. You know, remember, they're still young at 15 and 16, although they act like they're adults. They're still young, they're still developing. And at the end of the day, you don't want to start, you know, breaking them down to a point where now you are no harming them. Okay, so number 1 is that you have to be careful that you start remembering that you are talking to kids. You're not talking to your friends or your boo or your husband or your side piece. You are talking to kids, and kids process things totally different. So do not expect them to act as how an adult would act, and don't expect them to respond as how an adult would respond. They're going to respond totally different. So you start, you know, managing your, you know, how you speak to them, you know, stuff that you say. You try to guide them along the way to say, okay, this is what you want to do. Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Give them options. Don't push things down their throat and tell them to accept it. That is something that I did in the past, and I learned that shooks. That shit wasn't working at all. So you got to be super careful of how you're treating your kids and your children today. I always say in this series, again, whoever you bring around your children, please be super, super careful. You do not want to bring a bad seed around your kids in your home to visit on a regular basis or to sleep over or to go out with, because as your kids sit there and watch this bad person, they are sucking everything up like a sponge. So you gotta be super careful who you bring around your kids. Single parents, single dad, single mom. Be careful of that guy that you bring home, and then when you're done, you go in the bedroom and you lock the bedroom and you said, you feel safe. Oh, that kid is not listening to anything. Sometimes the kids go to the room door to listen to you because they're curious, who the hell is this man? And you're in there dropping it down like it's hot. You know, men, you bring your female home, and as soon as you go to the door, that female turns into a monster to your kids. You do not know. You have to be super careful who you bring around your kids, okay? So that's it for number 1. Number 2, the parenting phrase that builds resilience in seconds. You can say to them, oh my God, this was so hard, or this is super hard, but you did it. OMG, that is awesome. That is crazy. That is like, I am so proud of you. Oh my God. And you got to make a big deal out of this and make them feel so much accomplished. And they are so proud and they are so happy They feel so happy that you are proud of them. This is something that you need to build up your kids with, build up your children, and making sure that they're not feeling resentful or anything, like, especially when you have 2, 3, 5 kids, one feeling like you have the favorite. Mom and dad, you always know that shit. You're gonna have one as a favorite and you're gonna treat them different. You know, no matter what, just try and cut that and try and see if you can give all of them the same love and the same treatment and the same punishment if you're doing that with all 5 kids, please. Okay? Number 3 is going to be how to raise emotional, intelligent kids, even if you weren't. Teach them name and validation. You have to teach them the way that they will say, if a child is upset, you will turn to them and say, something like, okay, do you want to talk? Is this something that you want to talk to me about right now, or you think you need your space? Whatever that decision is, parents, I beg of you, back the hell back and just give them their space if that is what they want to do. As much as you want to talk to them, do not pound them, do not pressure them, do not stress them out. Leave them alone and let them get them space until they are ready. As soon as they're ready to discuss it with you, they will. Okay? That pretty much sums up, day 6. I want to make sure that you are making sure that who you're bringing around your kids is positive people, positive thinking, positive attitude, positive everything around your kids with who you're bringing around your kids. Making sure, again, as I always say, you have to give your kids definitely 3 things. You have to make sure that you give them positive thinking, positive thoughts, give them motivational, speech or motivational things at all times. You need to give them love. You need to give them food and shelter. Again, give them more love. You cannot give a child too much love. You want to make sure that there's no doubt in their mind that their parents love them unconditionally, okay? That's very, very huge. You have to make sure of that. And then I will say to you, single parents, you got to make sure that the relationship is serious before they meet your kids. Don't talk to Mr. Tom today and they meet their kids and they meet your kids tomorrow. Okay? Give it a few months until you know that this relationship is serious before you have them meet your kids. Okay? There you have it, guys. All I would say to you is that if you know anybody that would like this content, share my content. If you like my content, like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. Okay? Now, anytime my video drop, boom, you definitely want to be notified. Okay, that's all I have for you with kids and marriage today. This is day 6. We have one more day, day 7 coming up. Stay tuned for that tomorrow. My name is Nancy Mitchell. This is Love Guru, your guide to better relationships. Peace. I'm out.